You can just die without realizing it. Like, the half of his face was red because he got frozen. Like maybe wolves or dogs. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where I show you Russia from the inside. Today will be a really long video. So make yourself a nice cup of tea, coffee, vodka, tequila, whatever you drink there, and get ready for a story time. Today I'm going to tell you how I hiked in Russian mountains when it was minus 35. Let's go! When I was a student, I traveled a lot and I hiked a lot. I hiked with my husband, without my husband, with my friends, because hiking is the cheapest way to travel in Russia. You just buy a backpack, you buy some food, and you go hiking, and you go to survive in the forest. It was the cheapest thing you can do when you don't have money, but you have this will to travel and to explore the world. So when I was a student, I joined a tour club, a club of tourists. They usually hiked and they practice these kind of sport tourism. Yes, when you do something fast, like with the ropes, with knives and all the stuff. We were a little like scouts, you know, we were taught how to knit, how to survive in the forest, all this stuff. So we were doing this and we were hiking a lot. It was free. All you need is just like to pay for your transportation. Usually we travel by train or by bus. So you just pay for a ticket and you're in. And so once it was March, even though it's spring, in Russia, March is winter month because in March it's something between minus 30 and plus 15. So the weather is different. But the time that we decided to go hiking, it was minus 35 at night. So I studied in the city of Ufa, and from the city of Ufa, we went to the mountain called Malinovo. Malinovo 2. I don't know why. Malina from Russian language, it's raspberry. So the mountains are called because of the berries you can find there. So in this mountain you can find berries in the summer, but we went there in the winter. So we were ready for the toughest experience, for the hardest roads, for the hardest snow level. But it was shiny, the sun was shining, everything was good, except the temperature. So when we arrived at the station near the village where the Malinovo is, we were okay. We were chatting, dancing, everything was nice. We went to the forest. We put up a tent. We put our backpacks. We hid them so nobody could steal it, and we went to the top. I was the last one going to the top because I'm the weakest tourist. I was the oldest there because all other students, they were younger than me, and I was like already I had my bachelor degree and they were just like first or second year. But anyway, we were going up, the sun was shining. We spent about 2 hours going up, and at the top we enjoyed the view, and it was so sunny. And this mountain, it was about 1,000 meters high, and so we enjoyed the view, and the sun was so strong, you know, the heat from the sun. So I fell asleep a little bit. I put myself in the snow cap like this, and we were sleeping with my friend. We were just sleeping there for 5 minutes something. It was nice. But as we were going back, as you know, days in Russia in winter, they are shorter and shorter. It was getting darker and darker. And so by the time we reached our campsite, it was really dark. On our way back, we took wood. We have fallen trees that had already fallen and they like dry. So we put them like it was about maybe 30 kilos for 2 people. And so we were carrying these wood sticks, like they were really like a tree. It was about 6 meters, and we were like carrying it down. We had about 5 of these pieces of wood, and we were carrying them. It was getting darker and darker, and of course colder and colder. So we put up a fire. Finally, it was quite a difficult thing to do. We cooked a dinner. It was buckwheat with steamed meat. Not the best food you can eat, but if you hike and it's the only food that you eat in a day, it was quite nice. We put a pan full of water and we cooked on the open fire. Nice, romantic. Romantic it would be if it wasn't so cold there. So it was getting colder and colder, and it was time to go to bed actually. So how did we sleep? At night. At night it was -35. We were about 10 people, and we were put all in one tent. Our tent wasn't just a regular tent that like can protect you from the wind. We had a tent with a wood stove. So there was like a fire with like a stove with a fire inside the tent. And we kept the fire going all night. I was lucky because I was sleeping in the middle of the tent. Boys, we were like about 5 boys, 5 girls. Boys were sleeping at the edge of the tent, and it was freezing for them to sleep there because the temperature there was the lowest. We were in the middle, girls, and so we were the luckiest because it was the warmest, the hottest point of our tent. So we were afraid of freezing to death, so we were sleeping shifts, hour by hour. So basically, we slept all about 8 hours, but for 1 while at night you had to be awake to keep the fire burning. So you need to put some wood there to watch the coal burning and watch like CO2, yes, the burning gas, not to fill the tent, because the most scariest thing of all these tents is that you have this gas of like the product of burning that is harmful for your body. So you can just die without realizing it when you sleep. So it was the main problem. You needed to sense, you needed to understand when the gas would leak. It was not so difficult, but it was really hard to stay awake at night because it was scary. All around us were no people, but we heard like maybe wolves or dogs, but some wild dogs, obviously, because there weren't any people. And it was so scary that any animal would contact us at night. Because first of all, it's really cold and our tent was really warm. So we were scared to death. But anyway, we were sleeping. We slept good. Everything was nice at night. It was pretty hot inside, so I needed to undress a little. I slept in my like base layer, in my warm socks, and in my trousers on. And we slept in sleeping bags, of course. And it got so hot that I needed to undress myself a little so that I could not sweat a lot. Whew. Finally, we survived the night. It was the hardest thing to do. In the morning, we woke up, we put up a fire again. We warmed up our boots because our boots at night got really cold. We warmed out our boots on the fire. I burned my boots a little because of it. And we cooked breakfast. For breakfast, we had oatmeal, cooked on the fire, of course. Oatmeal with condensed milk. It's the best thing that you can eat when you're hiking because this food is full of carbohydrates that you need to hike for more and more. So we woke up in the morning. We were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" We were like discussing the night. How was it? How were shifts and all the stuff? And in the morning, it was the first time I went to pee. You know, for girls, it's really hard to pee when you hike. So we were keeping all night, all evening, all previous day. We didn't go to toilet because it was cold, and at night it's impossible. First of all, it's scary to go alone at night in the forest. But in the morning, we decided to do it. So we peed in the morning. It was the first time. For boys, it's always easier to do such things with the toilet things, you know? For girls, it's much harder, especially when it's cold. So yeah, we collected our tent, we gathered our things, and we went back home. We were going on foot to the train station. Everybody felt relaxed in this way because the hardest part was over, so we were just enjoying it. Frankly speaking, we didn't feel that it was minus 35. Of course, before going to sleep, we felt a little cold because the tent wasn't warm enough and everybody was going in and out of our tent, so it wasn't hot enough inside. But at night, it was okay, especially for girls who were sleeping in the middle of the tent. For boys, it was quite harder. One of the boys who was sleeping in the edge in the morning, one of like the half of his face was red because he got frozen a little, but it was okay. It is okay. You know, boys don't need to be beautiful. Girls need to be beautiful. So it's okay. That's fine. Whew. So it was the hardest hike. Like it wasn't the hardest hike. Like I experienced harder things. Like I mean the route, but the conditions, temperature conditions, were extreme. So in these conditions, you need to be really careful, and you don't need to waste your energy on something you don't need, because you need to keep warm all the time. Your body wastes a lot of energy on keeping warm. This is why you get hungry so often. And of course, we drank so much tea, maybe about 5 liters for one person, like because it was so cold that we needed to keep the warm going. It was for 2 days only, but the night was the coldest night in March, and we got home safe and sound. Thanks God, we were alive and we were not eaten by any bears, wolves, or dogs. So this is how we hiked when it was minus 35. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you like this video and follow my channel for more interesting and fascinating videos about Russian world and culture and how we survive here. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you. Bye!